Hey everybody, my name is Ulysses, and you're watching Let's Scoop. So essentially, I've only been playing Magic the Gathering for maybe about 3 years or so, and my first precon was Dihada, Binder of Wills. I ended up upgrading her quite a bit to the point that I decided to make this channel and try to show her off a little bit. She is my showcase deck, so she can get a lot stronger than what she is currently, but she's my baby. So hopefully you guys enjoy me, showing her off a little bit and can join the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see what she got. All right, everybody. Dihada, Binder of Wills. This is a cEDH variant of her, so most of you may or may not know what some of the abilities do, but we're just going to go straight into it. Her primary ability is for -3, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, pitch 4, make 4 treasure tokens, and you use Underwear Breach to kind of spin the wheel and keep on going. So we're going to go through the 3 enchantments in the deck. We have Underwear Breach, then Black Market Connection, then Necropotence. Pretty easy. You don't really need much more than that. I feel there are some good enchantments that you can include, but you do you. Then we have 15 artifacts with Arcane Signet, Aetherflux Reservoir, Bolus of Citadel, Chrome Mux, Lotus Petal, Grinding Station, Mox Opal, Scroll Rack, Sensei's Divining Top, Soul Ring, Talisman of Conviction, Indulgence, and Hierarchy. Then we have the One Ring and Wishclaw Talisman. Pretty good artifacts that I choose to run in this deck. A lot of mana rocks and then a lot of survivability with the One Ring. Then we're going to go to creatures. We have 22 creatures. So we have Anger, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, Birgi, God of Storytelling, Dauntless Dismantler, blah, 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 Draneth Magistrate, Grand Abolisher, Gialsa, Blade of Gold Knight, Heartless Hidetsugu, Heliod, Son of Crown, Hiroki, Dust Drinker. This is my personal preference. I just like this guy. Also, Horodor, Deathwall, Whale. Also another personal preference card. You're more than happy to swap this out. Oh, and look at that, another personal preference card, Kuravik the Merciless. I just like what he does. I had it signed, obviously I had to run it. Then we have Luris of the Dream Den, Magda, Brazen, Michiko Konda, Truth Seeker, Myril, Shield of Argive, Pinnacle Monk, Raidan, God of the Worthy, Talia number 1, and Talia number 2. Choose your one you want. I don't really mind either way. Walking Ballista to go with the Heliod you probably saw earlier. And Witch Enchanter. You did notice that there are some CDMC, whatever the fuck they're called, creature land here moguls, just to keep the count kind of nice and tight. We got one Planeswalker, Professor Onyx. And Professor Onyx is going to combo very, very well with Chain of Smog. You only need one Planeswalker other than your own commander. I feel I'm just babbling at this point, but it's a pretty card. And Chain of Smog is also a pretty nice win con that goes with her as well. So for sorceries, we got 14 sorceries. One of them being, oh, look at that, the Chain of Smog. Demonic Council. Demonic Tutor. Flicker. We'll get back to this one later. Final Parting. Grim Tutor, Gamble, Increasing Ambition, Jessica's Will, Profane Tutor, signed by the amazing Richard Kane Ferguson, Reanimate, Savine's Reclamation, Toxic Deluge, The Winds of Change. My wife got me this card, had to run it. It's staying. That's all the sorceries. Next are the instances. Deflecting Swat. Enlightened Tutor. Entomb. Everybody lives. Fell the Profane. Manatide. Silence. Devault's Trickery. Teferi's Protection. Swords to Plowshare. Pyroblast, signed by the amazing Kaja. Just had to shout that out. Oh, look at that! And a Vamp Tutor, also signed by the amazing Richard Kane. And Valakut Awakening. Those are all of our lands. Nope, next is the lands. That was all of our instants and sorceries. Next, we have 31 lands. Arid Mesa. Battlefield Forge. Blood Crypt. Bloodstained Mire. Boseiju Who Shelters All. Cabal Coffers. Cave of Kalios. Command Tower or Sabatron. Fable Passage. Flooded Strand. Godless Shrine. Gemstone Caverns, Glittering Caves of whatever the fuck. Hall of Heliodes. Inn of the Prancing Pony, or Pillars of Piri. Inventors Fair. Luxury Suite. Marsh Flats. Mount Doom. Plaza of Heroes. Reliquary Tower. Sacred Foundry. Savari Savannah Triumph. It's one of the triumphs. Skulling Tarn. Spectator Seating. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. You know what's really funny about this one? You can't really tell. It's got yellow there somewhere. It's double signatured, but you can't even see it. Anyways. Urza Saga. Vault of Champions. Wooded Foothills. Mountain. Swamp. And Plains. And that is my Dihada, Binder of Wills. Some of you may or may not know how Dihada is capable of being a cEDH deck, so we're just going to go through her primary combo, which is Underworld Breach and Flicker. With Flicker, you will be targeting Dihada, bringing her out, bringing her back in, with a fresh set of loyalty counters, with a fresh ability, allowing her to mill 4 cards, get 4 treasures, and continue the loop. So, let's just say, for example, if you can ever have these 2 in your hand, with the many tutors that you have, let's just say you play Dihada, activate her ability. You will mill 4 random cards. I say random because at some point something might be important that you do not want to exile, so do be very careful. If you notice, an Entomb or an Enlightened Tutor was exiled at some point, so you do want to try to be careful of which one you are wanting to use for Underworld Breach fuel. But let's just say we're going to send all 4 of these to the graveyard. Then we're going to make 4 treasure tokens. Now, I'm not sure why my camera keeps on flickering in and out, but we're just going to keep on going. So, with Dihada being freshly used, we're going to have 4 treasure tokens. We're going to sacrifice 2 of those to cast Underworld Breach. Then with the last 2 treasure tokens, we're going to cast Flicker, targeting Dihada, bouncing her out, bouncing her in. Flicker goes into the graveyard with those extra cards that we had milled earlier. Then we're going to mill additional 4 cards with her ability. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the tricky thing is that you do want to think about how you're going to be activating Underworld Breach, because as you mill those 4 cards, you will be getting a new, fresh set of 4 treasure tokens. So it is up to you to decide how to decipher your graveyard to recast the Flicker. You will always be able to use 2 mana for a Flicker and pile up 2 extra. The more you do that, the more you exile and shave things down until you keep exactly what you want to have in your graveyard and extra treasures. This is not an infinite treasure. This is a treasure generated through mill. Every 4 cards, every 4 treasures, that's how it works. Eventually you can keep more and mill less, you can choose how you want to do so. But with Underworld Breach, at any given point, if you can get a Lotus Petal or any other really nice mana rock, you can cast Enlightened Tutor into more anything else spicier that you could want to play. So, what do you want to play? Let's just say, for example, you have the primary engine already locked and loaded, gun and going. At this point, that's what this deck is trying to do. Just try to have more combos to pop off. So those combos need to be protected. So that's why we have my role as a legendary creature. It is very nice to have her out as soon as you can, or a Grand Abolisher. If you're able to have either of these two out at any given point, you have a safety net. It's nice to have some mana for counters, but you're really tight. If you could pop these off at any given point, that'd be nice. The best way to get them to pop off at any given point is to use the Bolas Citadel, but we'll get to that much later. Get your form of protections. So your form of protections are these two. Stratus Magistrate technically counts, but not really. You want to make sure you have a Pyro, Deflecting, Mana, Silence, and Tybalt's Trickery. Any form of protection for your combo is very necessary because it is a very fragile, easy to disrupt. So anything is very, very valuable, especially in this situation for cEDH. At any given point, people are able to destroy or counter your Underworld Breach, so you need to have a safety net for that moment too. That's why we have Sevinne's Reclamation and Loris. These two are, I know I have a land, Heliod's Generosity in there that I didn't get. Let me actually cut. There we go. And Hall of Heliodes. This can grab an enchantment, this can grab an enchantment, this can grab anything with 2 CMC or less. So very useful recursion tools for the deck itself. Loris is also very nice for Lotus Petal loops, but we'll get to that never, because at this point there's a lot to talk about. 2 personal preference cards that I like to go for, since you're primarily tutoring 2 cards at any given point, you're really aiming for Flicker and Underworld Breach. Final Parting is my personal favorite for this because it searches 2 cards, one for the graveyard, one for the hand. If Underworld Breach is in your hand, that's it. You really, really need to just lock it down in your hand. If Flicker goes to the graveyard, you can survive, you can figure things out. If Underworld Breach goes to the graveyard, it's a little tough. If both are gone, you are in a very tight spot, but it's not game over yet. This is genuinely the best engine that I enjoy with Dihada, but there is another one inside that we're going to get to. So, increasing ambition allows you to tutor out 2 cards, especially for the flashback cost. Final Parting, pitch 1, keep 1. Now we're going to get to the win conditions in this deck. We're going to go with the main one that is also part of the engine for the deck to continue on, which is a Divine Top, Bolas Citadel, and Aetherflux Reservoir. This is a very common combo that people do sometimes use. I very much enjoy it because I already use these 2 in the deck. Throw in an Aetherflux and there you have a win con. What is the win con? You tap the Ether, put in your deck, Bolas Citadel, cast the Ether, gain a life, tap it, put it in the deck, Bolas Citadel, you cast it again, gain 2 life, keep that shenanigan going, and then you just nuke. Also, if ever you're in a situation where you have a Bolas Citadel and a Necropotence, and then you're stuck with a land on the top of your library, you are always able to activate Necropotence, exile the top card of your library, keep on using your Bolas Citadel to just keep on going until you fucking lose life. Obviously, there's a lot of lands because of the way I shuffled, but this in itself is another engine to continue the game. If you can get either of these 2 out, or if you can get Underworld Breach and Flicker out, you have an engine. So keep on fighting. At any given point, if your game is very early with a good Dihada, a good 4 treasures, you can rush out Magda to rush out a Bolas. That's what this deck used to do in the very early days, so it's still capable to go Magda to Bolas. Very fun. Then you're going to have your Professor Onyx and Chain of Smog. This is a very easy win condition. You just cast a Professor Onyx. Every time you cast and copy a card, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Chain of Smog, you target yourself, continuously discard by targeting yourself over and over. Magecraft copies, this is a win condition. Heliod and Walking Ballista, I don't really use this one as often. I might actually chop these 2 out for something else, don't know what exactly, but this is a common win condition that I've literally never used, but it's just a different style of winning that I needed in this deck that can happen. Then we have an effect-based win condition. If you can ever get if you can ever get anger in your graveyard and a mountain on the board, with Heartless Hibisugu and Gielsa, you are able to haste, tap Heartless, deal half damage to each player, and then Gielsa deals double to each opponent. So this in itself would be a full life win condition with anger giving haste in the graveyard. And last but not least, Grinding Station. I have never actually played this card in the entire time I've had this deck. I've had the Grinding Station in the deck for maybe 5 months. Never once has it come up. But apparently, if ever you're in a situation where you have treasure tokens and you don't have Underworld Breach, you were able to use this Grinding Station for, let me read it for once. Sacrifice an artifact. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library in his or her graveyard. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you may untap Grinding Station. There you go. So, the more you activate Dihada, the more Grinding Station can tap one of the treasures, mill more, in case you don't have enough fuel for your Dihada, which has happened. Realistically, you're going to pray to have any form of crackland, sackland, whatever these are called. The more you can crack these and have extra stuff in the graveyard, the better it is, but essentially, that's Dihada. This is a big old mess because this is my first time doing a deck review on my favorite deck, but thank you so much for watching. Bye. Ugh, my hands are ugly.